The OHSAA Game of the Week on Spectrum News 1 is presented by Baldwin Wallace University, a confident choice for exceptional learning. Visit the website at bw.edu. It is a warm night here at Ken Stadium on the turf as Medina getting ready to open the season against Warren Harding, along with Ron Kavanaugh and Dave Bacon. Ron, let's take a look. Tonight's keys to the game are brought to you by Northern Ohio Honda dealers. Do not crash us in our first week, Ryan.
I will do my best to keep it safe up here, Dave. Let's start with Warren Harding. Limit the big plays. Coach Steve Arnold said he understands with Medina's offense the number of plays they will run and the number of weapons that they will have their moments. He wants his team not to be discouraged and keep those to a minimum. And for Medina, be fast. Warren Harding has 8 players starting both ways. Larry Laird wants to get the ball snapped in 11 seconds and try to wear Harding out. And Dave, we don't have a weather report, but I will tell you what, it is hot both from the sun and from the turf. It is a very, very warm night between the goal line to goal line out there.
You're 4 minutes late. It's supposed to be weather's on the 1. It's 5 after. So weather's on the 1 here on Spectrum News 1. So you mentioned the heat in both ways. That factors into it without question. We'll see how that happens. First half should be fine. Third quarter is when you can see it. The other thing that we'll be keeping an eye on is cramping up. That's something that you're always worried about warm days in August.
Coach Arnold understands that. He said they worked on the tempo offense in practice. They worked on 11-second snaps. Also did a couple things a little different in pregame. Brought his team out a little late. For the first time ever, Coach Arnold, for most of, or at least half of their pregame warm-ups, had their helmets on the sidelines because of the heat. That being said, Warren Harding came here into the country ready to start the season off the right way.
And it looks like the Bees, that 5-wide offense, will get the football first. Is getting set to tee it up to get us going is Jake Doherty, the kicker for Warren Harding. The one thing the Bees feel they have, their skill position speed.
They actually, Coach Laird, you hit the nail on the head, Dave. Coach Laird says his wideouts this year, they only bring back one trend. We just talked about him. He says this is a much faster football team. They have better team speed than last year. And that being said, their 4x1 team track relay team last year made it to the finals, and all 4 of those guys are on the field today.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on Wojak. I think he may be the fastest, the wide receiver. He's a real deep threat, but they got some guys that can move.
And Wojak is one of the deep men as well, along with Austin Knowles, awaiting the kick from Jake Doherty. And the 2022 season is underway. There is Wojak from the 7. Loses his mouthpiece at the 23. Big hit on special teams. Good coverage by the Raiders. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 24 for the Medina Bees. We mentioned that Drew Allard, Mr. Football in Ohio, competing out at Penn State, graduated. Well, Danny Stoddard put together pretty well, prototypical size, 6'2", 190 junior, is the quarterback for the Medina Bees.
He is a terrific athlete. Very fast in his own right. He can run, although in this offense, Larry Laird wants him to throw the football and get it to the outside and speed guys.
Knowles in motion, they fake it, they set up the screen to Wojak. Wojak, and we're going to see some of that speed caught from behind, but a big gain out across the 45.
Dave, I don't even know if we're going to have time for replays based on how fast they run, but Wojak stumbled a little as he bounced it to the outside, and if he didn't, I was hoping he didn't because I wanted to see a legit track race going on.
Brian Powell, the middle linebacker, ran him down and makes the tackle. Now they line up one of those wides behind Stoddard, and they hand it to him, and it's Wojak again, and he gets across the 40 and into Harding territory. Boss on the tackle down at the 36. So they're getting the ball in Wojak's hands early.
Yep, that's speed. That's how Larry Laird likes to play. Be fast. Wojak's a big piece of that.
And he again lines up behind Stoddard. They'll get the handoff again. Actually, they snuck Schramm back there. And again, a big gain out to the 25. So they're lining up one of the receivers almost like a tailback.
What's happening, Dave, is that they're putting, the linebackers are going out. Warren Harding's putting linebackers out on the outside, leaving the entire middle of the defense open. And they're taking what they give them. And they've got Schramm in the backfield once again behind Danny Stoddard.
3 lines to the top. This time Stoddard pulls it. He has Stoddard inside the 10. First and goal for the Bees on this initial drive.
Stoddard can move as well. And he's a very, very solid runner. Coach Laird said his goal for Danny Stoddard is 300-100. 300 passing, 100 rushing.
Empty backfield. This is the standard set for Larry Laird as he motions in the play to Stoddard. Empty backfield, 5 wide. And a whistle.
We're going to get it on Harding, it looks like.
Defense, offside, number 20, distance to the goal, first down.
Had to just line up in that neutral zone as that was blown dead before it ever got snapped. So it's first and goal, and it's now from the 6. Actually, it's right on the 5-yard line. That's Schramm, who will now motion back behind Stoddard. Stoddard swings it out to Schramm. He's going to get into the end zone for the touchdown. Brendan Schramm from Stoddard. It didn't take long for him to get his first touchdown of this season.
How many did he have last year?
14.
He was 13 away, and he's only one possession deep in this season so far. Nice job. What I really like watching Danny Stoddard's eyes, Dave, he's going to look left, and come back right. Beautiful job moving the defense with his eyes, creating a one-on-one scenario. You put your best receiver, your best athlete out in space, and you rely on him to win that one-on-one battle, and Schramm did just that.
Mike Lasky puts it through, and it is a 7-0 lead, less than 2 minutes into the opener. The impressive drive, Brendan Schramm picks up where he left off, and the Bees feel this guy's a Division I receiver. I think they left no question about that.
Coach Laird says he doesn't have any offers, which blows my mind. And you saw in this drive alone the versatility. He can run it out of the backfield. You can catch it out of the backfield. You can run routes downfield. That's where he's the best. He's very sure-handed. In my opinion, one of the most under-recruited players in Northeast Ohio. Look at that job. And he knows how to get in the end zone.
I'll tell you what was impressive. You mentioned Stoddard looked away. He put it right where it needed to be when he came back to Brendan Schramm so he could catch it at full speed. That's when they were able to get in the end zone.
He's a Brad Bandler guy. What I mean by that is Brad Bandler's one of the better quarterback coaches in, well, let's not limit it to the state of Ohio. He was Drew Aller's coach. He's coached a lot of top prospects. Bandler, his players generally get into college and they excel not only in high school but there. And there's a lot of similarities in the throwing motion. But you hit the nail on the head, Dave. That is a difficult pass because when you're looking up, you got to come right, and you have to quickly understand where the spot is. He's not looking it down. That was on the dot. It was a perfectly placed pass. I should just let you talk about quarterback.
I think I've exhausted my knowledge.
No, man. You just get warmed up.
Lesky will kick it off.
Larry Laird wants his kicker to put in the end zone. He's very aware of what Harding and some of their talented athletes can do when they get the ball in space, and they're going to have a chance here.
A little bit of a short kick, fielded on the hop, and knocked down across the 30-yard line is Penny Crenshaw, one of the return men for the Raiders. So pretty good field position. He got it out across the 30. They spotted out at the 33. First and 10 for the Raiders offense. And they will be quarterbacked by Dallas Jack. And we kind of alluded to the dual threat ability. Last season as a junior, 1,670 yards, 23 touchdown passes. 531 yards rushing and 11 more rushing touchdowns. And they give it to the big back, and he's out into the open, out near midfield, down to the 40 and inside the 40-yard line. Big Ryan Powell got rolling, and it is a two-headed monster in the backfield.
Yeah, well, look, usually, Dave, you've got to buy a bus ticket or an Uber ride to get a lift like that. Look at the swarm of bees on the back of big number 22, Ryan Powell, heavily recruited junior. As Coach Arnold says, sky is the limit for that young man.
He just in physical size and what I just saw with Burst there. Last time I saw that at Warren Harding, this guy, I mean, you're going to remember it. You know what I'm thinking of.
Is it LaShawn Daniels, or is it, there's two?
Here's a good job of tackling at the line of scrimmage now.
So I love it. LaShawn Daniels was the big back. He went to Iowa.
Right.
And then there was another one who's currently at UMass who went to Rutgers.
No, keep going.
Kieran, who are you looking? Who else is out? Oh, not Lynn Bowden.
No.
Who is it?
No.
Maurice Claret.
Maurice
I'm
Claret.
sorry.
I'm testing you there.
Yeah, you got me. I was going deep.
Or number 13, and was big and had a burst.
Man, he's good.
All right, here's Jet, and he got the corner. Flag on the flag. Anytime you see one of the blockers kind of pull their hands back, it's probably an illegal block.
Yeah, they're going to get Devin Voss on the edge, number 6.
But there was also Mario Manningham, who played here back in the day as a wide receiver, but Claret was a big guy, and every time he ran, it was like, how is he that fast? He was that big.
Yeah, and there's 6. Here's Voss.
Just kind of got his arm hooked in there.
You know, it's very difficult when you want to give that effort and you're out of position, or at least the defender puts himself in a better position than you. It's hard to turn the effort off, but you know, right there, it's best. You're not going to affect the play anyways, other than negatively by getting the penalty. There wasn't anything you could do to stop the defender from being able to get his hands on his quarterback.
Jet brought down. Jesse Ray crashing from his linebacker spot, got a hold of him and brought him down.
Well, that's another calling card of Medina defensively. Is they're going to blitz, and they're going to blitz you every time. They're going to bring 6, 7 guys, depending on the situation. In Harding that time with Jet, they were quarterback draw. It just the opportunity, the window closed so fast because of those linebackers for Medina, including Jesse Ray.
3 wides to the top. Jet slips and hits and throws incomplete. That's going to be the other linebacker, Griffin Hay, who got a shot on Jet as he was trying to release.
Harding's having trouble picking up these blitzes, and they're coming fast. Look for Harding when they come back to run that same motion and slip it back like a screen type play. The quarterback draw a lot of times can take advantage of an over-aggressive defense. It didn't work. So I look for a screen pass, especially to the weak side for Harding.
Bad snap. Doherty, a nice job to pick that up on a bounce. Flag going to be on the play, and it bounces out of bounds inside the 15. All kinds of contact. That was a heck of a play by the punter, Jake Doherty, to get that off.
10-yard line.
I don't know which type this is, though, right? The 5 or the 15 variety. I assume this is on a roughing the punter type situation, right?
There is a flag on that heel.
I think they're going to take it where it is and move him back.
Got running into the kicker on the defense. That penalty declined. First down this way.
So it's a running into only a 5-yard penalty. It wouldn't be a first down. They decline it because the ball will be marked around 10. So up-tempo Medina offense had some big plays. We didn't get to show you a lot of replays because we don't have time. But here is a Stoddard getting into Wojak. And you see Wojak stumbled a little bit, but you can see the quickness in the burst. This time Stoddard keeps it. Great read.
Fast.
Yep. And then here's another look at that. Look off, and that is delivered right in the hands on stride. And an impressive first drive. So now second drive back at their own 10. Stoddard taking a shot deep. And that's going to be impressive interference. Oh, incomplete. Wow. He grabbed his shoulders and his arm, and he was reaching for the flag, and he didn't pull it out.
So you, partner, Austin Knowles, who was running the route, and everybody underneath us on the home stands thought that was pass interference. Watch, he grabs him right here.
Yeah.
There's a jersey pull. It's pretty clear.
He got his shoulder and he went down and tugged the jersey. It goes incomplete.
I'll tell you what it was. It was a perfectly thrown ball by Danny Stoddard. He's putting out a clinic here.
Second and 10.
Looks away again.
Underneath, Schramm gets across the 15, 16, and a flag on the play.
The back judge threw that right at the center.
And that's G. Jones on the tackle, sorry.
Yeah, they're going to get a hold on Medina.
Holding 53 on the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat, second down.
And, Brian, it's kind of interesting that we mentioned so many guys graduated. 4 of their linemen, offensive linemen, got significant playing time in that 13-1 year a season ago.
Yeah, that's one of the strengths of this team. Coach Laird says that the O-line's not only bigger, but this is the best offensive line unit he's had since he's been at Medina. He's had some good lines.
Set up a little middle screen and a nice tackle by the linebacker, Powell. Corchado with the reception, but brought down almost immediately, so it's going to be a 3rd and 13.
Well, the bus, Ryan Powell on offense, his twin brother Brian Powell is playing middle linebacker, and he diagnosed, read, and reacted to that immediately. That's what you want out of your middle linebacker. I always say, if you want to be a good defense, you got to have a bumper in the middle. You got to give, you have to have the threat that the offense knows. Don't come this way.
Going deep for Schramm, he grabbed it! What a catch! Schramm, a one-way grab, he's going down. First down for the Bees.
The free safety tries to undercut it, and Schramm says, give me that ball. Doesn't even use the offhand to bring it in, and guess what? Medina's about to snap the football.
Out to the 35, quickly again, Schramm again. And picks up another first down, pickup of 11.
So what Medina's done, Dave, the 2 passes, well, other than that, it's slip screen, but they went deep to Knowles, they just went deep to Schramm, and what happens is those defensive backs start backing up, they're 6'7", and they're mailing on the snap, and that tells you, boom, we're going to take that 5-yard hitch, and let Schramm get some yards after catch. But there it is. Off the play callers, calling a great game right now.
Here's Wojak. Picks up a couple. Good tackle by Jackson, crashing in off the edge.
Big fella. Nice play.
I love what they're doing. You don't have a running back on the roster, but you're putting one of your receivers, who's a playmaker, behind center and using him as a running back.
It just makes your, so what happens is you can go running back or you can go wide receivers with the same personnel. And because you're playing so fast, the defense can't, they're not allowed to rotate guys in. There's no time for it. So that sort of flexibility makes your offense more dynamic.
Stoddard thought about it. Now he's going to tuck it. He's got some room.
Fast.
Good run down the sidelines. Dives forward. And he will be across the line to make at the 44-yard line of Harding.
Can't tell. Waving him over. It looks like someone from Harding must be down. Yep. On the near sideline. And back up.
Oh, it's Dallas Jet, too.
You know, I talked to Coach Arnold about Jet playing offense and defense. You know, I said, is there concerns about him playing defensive back? He said, he's a competitor. 16, 17-year-old, you just have to go play. So,
yeah, I get it. I get it.
That's, the depth for Warren Harding, I think, is, especially in this heat and against this offense, they're going to find out what they have, and especially the level of toughness and conditioning that they have. Because Medina, if they're going to test you one way, it's certainly going to be vertical and how well can you cover, but they're going to test your cardio.
Right.
They're going to stay on you.
And again, they practice at this tempo, so it's not nearly the 90-degree heat we had a couple weeks ago. They were practicing this and that.
Yeah.
So it's a tough combination in the opener for the Raiders in that it's kind of a warm night, it's kind of humid, and you're going to play a team that wants to snap the ball as quickly as they can. And you play 8 guys both ways.
Yeah, well, Coach Arnold said, he quoted Jimmy Johnson, "Fatigue makes cowards of us all." And he spoke about the importance of cardio, being in great physical condition. It was something that he brought over from the basketball court. As you know, Dave,
Yeah, he was
a long-time coach there.
And really successful at basketball.
Yeah, he said we always had great teams, but they were well-conditioned, which allowed them to do what Medina's doing right now, which is keep a high level of action of play, knowing we can do this.
Right.
Can you? And that's what Medina, that's the question they asked.
5 wides again. Stoddard avoids the rush, tucks it, and gets back near the line of scrimmage. Might have lost a yard, so it goes a sack. It's a good run. Powell kind of ran after him and chased him. Got a little bit of help from Coleman, too.
You're already seeing a threat here. Maybe, Drew Aller could run, but not like Danny Stoddard. So you're seeing, if you're going to commit more downfield, you have to be concerned about Danny Stoddard breaking contain and running the football because everybody's downfield.
5 wide again. Stoddard.
That's a great route by Stram.
Caught it. Just short of the first down. 35.
Man, that was just a terrific route, Dave. His release, he came up, he worked, stemmed up on the inside shoulder of the defensive back, and then broke in. He put him exactly where he wanted him to get to the spot he was going to get to, and you saw the separation when the ball was there. Stoddard again, right on time.
They're down in 2, trying to extend this drive.
Screen.
Graham deflected, almost intercepted by Coleman. It's Nye Coleman read that.
Sometimes you make a touchdown saving tackle, and sometimes you get your hand on the ball and save a touchdown. Ooh, that was almost. You're right, Dave. You're right.
And he's a guy that they'll use as that H-back tight end type, so he's got pretty good hands for a DN.
Man, 6'5", 200. That's it.
It's also their 3rd quarterback. He's listed as a quarterback.
A lot of potential in that young man.
Tram in motion.
Quarterback run.
Stoddard, first down, a lot of room. 25, lowers his shoulder and gets a couple extra. Aris Coleman Day on the tackle.
I think Danny could have cut up, but he's got a lineman to his left. I always thought he was going to cut left instead of right. Because that big lineman was upfield, I thought he was going to run around him. Now, of course, you had four wideouts to that top side, so that's where the extra defensive pursuit's coming from. And Danny Stoddard looks like a much more capable runner than me, so I'm going to trust what he's doing and his vision instead of what I think he should have done.
Coleman Bay had made a pretty nice open field tackle as he brought down the big quarterback pretty much right where he was. Now you can take Spectrum News One with you wherever you